All right, we are up in Colorado. We are with the Cassie Maier, and we're doing some training. Why do we do training, Maggie?
We do training so that when we get out in these situations, we have the skills. We're not necessarily trying to exercise them, but if we get stuck in a situation, we just are better riders. We can handle things more confidently and make better informed decisions to be safe.
And maybe not get stuck in the mud.
That's the goal.
Also, I feel like for us, we're always going through this training journey. Like, it's a never-ending quest, and Cassie is a badass. We met her at Austin Moto Adventures, and we've spent the last couple days filming some stuff coming soon with her. Can you tell us a little bit about the training journey? What are we kind of looking forward to today?
Oh, for today, specifically for you two, it's just about building up the skills so that if you need to exercise them, you know how to get out of situations. The way I look at adventure riding is it's more about troubleshooting, right? Because you're going to end up in something. You're going to end up in mud. You're going to end up needing to turn around. You're going to end up being tired, whatever it is. Like, you've got to learn how to get through it. And being able to have those skills prior to going on an adventure is just going to keep you safer, and it's just going to be more fun.
Ready to hit it?
We're also in Colorado, which is different for us than the desert. We don't have to tackle sand. It's been raining a lot up here. We're near Silverton, and I'm excited to kind of see how we do in mud, because that is not our element.
That's right, Sean Wells. I'm coming for you. I'm learning the mud now. What's up?
So yeah, I'm excited to be in a little bit different terrain from what we're used to. We're definitely going to have to be paying attention and asking lots of questions, because we have an awesome resource here.
All right, let's go be some hogs in the mud. See what I did there? What'd you learn?
I think that the most important thing we should be thinking about is traction. Always. That should be top of mind. Your lights are on. When you lose traction, you fall down. I'm just kidding. There's 3 things that you can use to adjust right now that we're focusing on in the drills that we just did. And that is the friction zone and neck clutch control, the throttle and how you use it, and not getting on it too hard, but being able to know when and how much, getting really good controlled practice of that, and then body position and weight, depending on where we need to move our body so that we can maintain traction.
And vision.
And vision.
Vision's really important.
Vision is really good for balance. Yeah, vision for balance. But yeah, I think we did some really cool drills. What drills did we do?
Circles and hill climbs and slalom turns, and then we did like these really these were good, these friction zones going up and down the hill, stop and goes, tap and goes. So really just like trying to hone in and refine on that throttle and clutch control and figuring out that balance. And how bad was Maggie at all this?
Maggie was awesome. We did some refining at the beginning, and then she was killing it.
Just kicked my ass as usual.
Yeah, I mean, I went down. It's not easy. This stuff's not easy. So you guys did awesome.
Chunky.
Cool.
And you earned your lunch.
Yeah, I'm really hungry.
I'm really sweaty. These drills are really great, and I feel like I'm taking away stuff that, like, where I know I need to practice more. Like, this has been really eye-opening on, like, we don't spend enough time doing this. Like, we will have more control when we're out on the trail if we get those really slow, like, refined movements and practice this stuff so it's second nature to us. When we start losing traction, no matter where it is or what the situation, we know what we need to adjust to get back in control of things. So that's what I'm excited about this. It's
Yeah, really
helpful.
working that friction zone.
Yeah.
It's
And
like- I
Cassie's
feel like
been
so.
great.
And the other thing is, like, even when you do these little hill climbs, like, there is times where you get on the trail and you stop somewhere and then you're like, shit. So you're stopped and you have to try to go up a hill climb, you know, and you don't want to goose it. So you got to just, like, keep your traction and make it through that hill climb and keep the momentum going and get up the hill.
White man came across the sea. He brought us pain and misery. He killed our tribes. He killed our creed. He took our game for his own need. We fought him hard. We fought him well. Out on the plains, we gave him hell. But many came. Too much for Queen. Oh, will we ever be set free? Riding through dust clouds and barren wastes, galloping hard on the plains, chasing the redskins back to their holes, fighting them at their own game. Murder for freedom, the stab in the back. Women and children are cowards attack. Run to the hills. Run for your lives.
Now we're taking a pit stop on the trail. This second part of training, we're not really doing like drills with cones in an area. We're actually on the trail. Cassie will be joining us in a minute. She's pooping.
All right, we're doing hill climbs and also going downhill, which, how do you feel about that, Maggie?
I hate going downhill. It sucks. But after today, I'm feeling a lot better. We've been practicing the 3 different types of kind of like slowing down on a hill, which is using engine braking, front brake, and rear brake. Kind of playing with that, finding what's comfortable, knowing when the engine kicks in is good, because I never trust it. I always think I'm going to get too much momentum. I'm a really slow hill goer to the point where I often stall out. But getting practice and having Cassie here in our headsets has been super helpful to do on the trail training, not just for these hills, but even like kind of some of the other stuff we're doing, which we did some rocks, like
We did like giant rock,
beds.
almost like gravel, but giant rocks that are gravel.
giant rock beds. Yeah.
Yep. And then I think another thing that we went over that was interesting is we were talking about when to actually pull in your clutch all the way. So there are certain situations where you don't want to put too much input into your bike, like brakes or engine braking and all that, because you could potentially actually lose traction.
Yep.
And you just need to make it over maybe potentially like a loose section of rocks where on the other side there's more traction, and then you can put that input back in. So that was another cool thing that we were learning today.
Yeah, definitely made a lot of sense to put it in action. And then we were practicing in drills, peg weighting. Now we're getting to play with that. We're focusing more on our feet, I think, throughout the trail riding today. So it's been super helpful.
Yes.
It's Colorado. It smells majestic.
And we ate wild raspberries
We did just have a wild raspberry snack. All right, we are,
at the camp for Moscow Moto.
yeah, we switched it up. This morning we went ahead and relocated. Our tent set up. We're ready to get dusty at the Dusty Lizard. But we are on day 2 of training.
Yes.
Yesterday was pretty rad. I liked the on the trail stuff. It was pretty good. We got to see some beautiful stuff. We also went out to Animus Forks, which is kind of like this meeting point.
It's a split
Glorious.
of a bunch of different,
all
really
these trails.
lots of
There's
Jeeps.
Jeeps that look like they're gonna fall off the edge. There's side by sides. There's quads. This is an outdoor playground for sure.
Yes.
High traffic going into the weekend. We got to be careful, I think. Watch out. Not be hauling it. Be wary of the trail.
And time to
Participants.
hone in on some more skills.
Yep, and we're going to get soak up one more day. We're a little late to start because we've been posting
YouTube videos.
YouTube videos, but
C'est la vie.
it is what
The
it
life.
is.
Let's go.
So let's jump into it. We're going to go start training with Cassie Maier of Clear Moto, day 2.
When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. When I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. If I get drunk, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who gets drunk next to you. And if I haver, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's havering to you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm working, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who's working hard for you. And when the money comes in for the work I do, I'll pass almost every penny on to you. When I come home, oh, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home to you. And if I drove, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's going over you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm lonely, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's lonely without you. And when I'm dreaming, well, I know I'm gonna dream about the time when I'm with you. When I go out, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. And when I come home, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home with you. I'm gonna be the man who's coming home with you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door.
We just got done with our training, and I feel like I learned a lot. How about you, Maggie?
I learned a ton. And it was immediately applicable because we got to go ride. And that was awesome. It felt different, felt more confident. I'm not so scared to go downhill. And if you ask Justin, I'm a little biatch when it comes to that. Not no more.
Yeah, it was really rad yesterday. First of all, I feel like for me, a big thing was peg weighting.
Yeah.
And so there was a couple times when I was taking some of these really like hardcore switchbacks, and I had the confidence to go into them because I was peg weighting properly. It didn't feel like I was going to slide down or fall off the side of the mountain. So that was cool. And then also watching Maggie like go downhill and actually like crushing it. And she sat through some of it. Bum. As usual. What did you see as far as growth between Maggie and I?
Oh, I feel like the level of confidence was huge, right? For you in particular, that peg weighting, right? Like you were kind of struggling with that concept, and I saw you get a little frustrated at one point. And then yesterday on that ride, you were like, oh my gosh, there it is. I get it. And it's just cool to see that click. And then, for you, Maggie, you were talking about downhills, and to see you, and with Justin saying too, he's like, man, this is the fastest I've ever seen her go downhill, seated or not, right? But it's just such a reward for me to, ask you to do these concepts and these techniques and then apply them to things like the passes in the San Juan Mountains. So it's cool.
Hell yeah. I got go ahead. I got one more question. Too.
I think what's really important is like there's a lot of beautiful riding out here. A lot of it people could just go out and just like tackle on their own, figure it out, learn some tough lessons. But the nice thing is when we break it down in a smaller, controlled situation and environment. We had Cassie at our ear. She was coaching us through on such a like smaller scale that when we got out in the wild, like that's when the time we spent before getting out there was so important. And I think that's the most important thing about training is that you, in a more controlled situation, practice those skills so that they're second nature before you get out into the shit.
All right, I got one more question, and that's if I'm interested in training with you, what are the different ways that I could come and train with you, or anybody, our audience, could come out and train with you?
Yeah, so I try to be at all of the Dusty Lizards. Can't always make them to all of them. But for the Dusty Lizards in particular, I do trail training, which is a lot like what we did. You know, we'll spend some time actually out on the trails working on concepts that apply to what you're actually going to hit in the real world. You can also just check out my calendar on my website at clearmoto.com.
We're going to put a link right here.
Awesome, right? Yeah, I mostly will focus on off-road training because that's where my passion is. But if you want to do some pavement training, I can do that. That's all private. So if you ever just want to do a private lesson, we can get that sorted out. I can either come to you or you can come to me, and I'm based in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Sweet. And for those of you who don't know what a Dusty Lizard is, it's Moscow Moto's event riding. They do them kind of all over the West Coast mostly. But they have them in really great riding locations typically, and it's a great place to meet people. It's a cool place to be able to kind of test out some gear, and also if you want to do some training, good place for that too.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, do you know what our outro is for our YouTube channel?
No, I'm going to find out though.
All right, well, it's, you know what the name of it is? This is the way we roam.
Yeah.
So we always say, and this is the way we roam. So you got to be part of it.
Oh, that's cute.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
Okay.
And this is the way we roam.
Except I didn't do the hand flare.
That's
all
okay.
good.
You're good.